is a ledger where we count our losses. Bosses on the hill while we paying all the costs. Empty pockets echoing like sirens in the night. Trying to find a way to make it wrong or make it right. Living in a city that's heartless and restless. We chasing after paper that's already been spent. Walking down the block just to wonder where the time went. Hustle in the marrow, bone deep and cold. Stories of the struggle that'll never get told. Concrete jungle where the flowers never bloom. Just a lot of heavy shadows in the one room. Trying to stay afloat while the tide is getting higher. Walking through the rain just to stay out the fire. Every brick is heavy, every dollar is a war. Questioning the struggle, wondering what it's for. On the avenue where the shadows never sleep. Promises of millions are the ones we couldn't keep. 8 bars of truth, 16 for the pain. Wash away the sorrow in the rhythm of the rain. Yeah, we grinding till the sunrise in the Bronx. No silver spoons here, just the blocks and the haunts. Keep your head up even when the pocket's looking light. We the kings of the struggle in the middle of the night. Bodega lights flicking like a fading memory. Dealing with the weight of the city and its energy. Selling bits of hope just to buy a plate of food. Stuck inside the cycle in a bitter kind of mood. The math don't add up when you starting from a zero. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody's a hero. Just a man with a pen and a hunger for the truth. Losing all his fire in the basement of his youth. Watch the transit glide by while you standing on the platform. Weather in the winter in a heavy kind of rainstorm. The struggle is a muscle that you got about the next. No shortcuts taking on the road to the salvation. Just a pure result of the mental preparation. Stay solid in the middle of the chaos and the noise. Finding all the wisdom in the balance and the poise. On the avenue where the shadows never sleep. Promises of millions are the ones we couldn't keep. 8 bars of truth, 16 for the pain. Wash away the sorrow in the rhythm of the rain. Yeah, we grinding till the sunrise in the Bronx. No silver spoons here, just the blocks and the haunts. Keep your head up even when the pocket's looking light. We the kings of the struggle in the middle of the night. Yeah, Bronx blocks. Keep your head up. We still there.
City is a living thing. Can you hear the breathing beneath the elevated train where the light is receding? It's that Bronx winter chill seeping through the brickwork. We're clocking hours in the dark, but the shadow is the feared work. Keep the vision wide even when the pockets are thin. The paper chases a marathon that we're struggling to win. Listen to the jazz and the static, the soul and the grime. We're just trying to find $1 in the pockets of time. The Ren is a heavyweight champion fighting for the space. I'm running on a treadmill trying to win the rat race. The bodega cat is watching from the window of the store while we're scrubbing every penny till it's flat on the floor. Elevated iron tracks, they rattle through the heavy sleep. Promises are jagged, yeah, they're promises we couldn't keep. See the steam rising from the belly of the sidewalk grate. We're navigating labyrinths, we're negotiating with fate. My notebook is a ledger, every word is a calculated cost. Counting all the opportunities we're staring at and lost. The bus is always late, but the pressure is always on time. Building up an empire out of a heavy nickel-plated rhyme. The hunger isn't physical, it's a mental state of mind. Searching for the silver lining that we're struggling to find. Every corner is a chapter in a book that's never read. Just a story of the hustle and the weight inside the head. Oh, the concrete has a rhythm, but the pockets feel the cold. Trading off the youth just to keep spirit bold. It's the Bronx state of mind, yeah, the struggle is art. Finding all the currency inside a heavy heart. Oh, the concrete has a rhythm, but the pockets feel the cold. Storing off the youth just to keep spirit bold. It's the Bronx state of mind, yeah, the struggle is art. Stories in the pavement that have never yet been told. Paying for the future with the sacrifices made. 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 I remember when the dream was just a concept in the air. Now it's just a mountain that I'm trying to climb with a prayer. System is a labyrinth, red tape on the front door. They want us to be hungry, that's the marrow in the bone. The taxon's like the subway, it's persistent and it's deep. Through the middle of the night while the city's trying to sleep. I'm crafting every syllable a tool to build the wall. So I can stand resilient when the heavy hammers fall. No glitz, no glamour, just a grit upon the shoe. Doing what I have to do to make the vision come true. So keep your head up high, don't let the static settle in. The battle is the journey and the journey is the win. Yeah, the night is long, but the morning is a fact. Keep the vision steady, keep the spirit intact. Bronx soul still moving through the gray. Find the light. Yeah. Bronx state of mind. Can you hear it? The rhythm of the street isn't just noise. It's the sound of survival. Let's take a walk. Watch your step. Keep your eyes up. Let's breathe. Concrete shoulders carry the weight of the borough grid, searching for the logic in the things that the daylight hid. Ran as a phantom, chasing shadows down the hallway floor, while the bodega light flickers like a beat for the poor. I'm stacking syllables brick by brick on a jagged line, trying to turn the lead of the struggle into the gold around the subway. Echoes metallic veins of the city's heart, pulling us and spitting us out, tearing the weeks apart. I see the hustle, the quiet trades on the corner block, measuring a lifetime against the tick of a rusted clock. My pockets are hollow, but the spirit is heavy as lead, nourished by the whispers of the legends already dead. It ain't about the glitz, it's about the grit and the grain, finding a way to bloom in the middle of the acid rain. The atmosphere is thin, but the vision is panoramic, dancing on the edges of the chaos, dodging the panic. Oh, this pavement knows the secrets of the grind, a concrete labyrinth for the restless mind. We're holding on, yeah, we're waiting for the day. Turn the struggle knows the secrets of the grind. Bronx stories, yeah, the truth is hard to find, but we rise up, steady through the hazy blue, building in the future that the city never knew. I'm calculating the balance, looking for a margin to spare, breathing in the static of the carbon-heavy city air. The system is a circuit designed to keep the current low, but I'm a rogue frequency. Watch how the energy start to grow. Every dollar is a circuit designed to keep the current, but I'm a rogue frequency. Watch how the energy start to grow. Every dollar is a battle, every nickel is a veteran scar, looking at the horizon, trying to reach for a distant star. The fire escape is a balcony for the ones who wait, negotiating terms with the heavy iron of fate, negotiating terms with the heavy iron of fate. I don't need a map, I know the cracks in hand of fate. I don't need a map, I know the cracks in the street, mapping out the survival with the rhythm of my own feet. We're fluent in the dialect of the late night hustle, putting the soul in the spirit, putting the heart in the muscle. No shortcuts in the blueprint, just a hard-won game, just a hard-won game, washing the bitterness off in the rhythmic rain. I'm a student of the borough, a scholar of the gray. I'm a student of the borough, a scholar of the gray, carving a legacy out of the debts we're forced to pay. It's all about the growth, through the concrete, through the concrete. Never forget where you started, stay focused.
Steam rises up like a ghost from the gate, walking heavy with the burden of a crooked fate. Flickering lights on the corner of the avenue. The blue haze settles, hiding everything we ever knew. The concrete holds the heat of the yesterday's sun. We're tallying the losses before the day has begun. Focus sharp, keep the vision clear in the gray. Watching the night swallow up the remains of the day. Pockets of light, but the rent is a towering wall. Waiting for the sky to shift, waiting for the ceiling to fall. The transit rattles a rhythm shiver under the street, counting every copper to keep the circle complete. Bodega doors chime another echo of the hollow grind, leaving the ambition in the corner of a rusted mind. We navigate the mazes where the blueprints all torn, waiting for the break in the clouds, waiting for a brand new morn. The ledger is a monster, eating numbers like it's starved for more, while we scrub the history, clean off the peeling hardwood floor. It's a tightrope walk on a wire that's frayed and thin, trying to find the warmth in the wind that doesn't begin. Every block is a ledger, every storefront is a silent judge, holding on to grit when the whole world refused to budge. It's an economic fever, cold sweat in the middle of the night, chasing a dollar that's vanishing just out of the line of sight. Oh, the city's a cold shoulder when you're out on the ledge, running on the fumes while we're standing on the rusty edge. The blues are in the marrow, the struggle is etched in the bone, building up a kingdom out of the dust and the gray of the stone. Yeah, the city's a cold shoulder when you're out on the ledge, pushing through the static, just find a little bit of hedge. The cycle is heavy, but we keep the rhythm alive, learning how to bend, learning how to actually survive. The fire escape is the vantage point for the weary souls, watching how the seasons strip away all the defined goals. Infiltrate your crumbling, but the spirit holds the weight of the steel, turning the abstract pressure into something that we can feel. I'm deciphering the graffiti, the language of the lost and the found. Every tag is a prayer written on the unforgiving ground. We're trading our time for the fragments of a broken dream, sewing up the future at the edge of a fading seam. The hunger is a constant, it's a hum in the back of the throat, staying afloat in the current, building a massive iron boat. Nobody's giving handouts, the hand is only there to take. We're learning the math of the hunger, we're learning how to bake our own bread from the ashes, our own light from the dark, carrying the ember, just searching for a singular spark. The Bronx is the teacher, the lessons are learning the code, trading the silver of the youth for the wisdom of the old. The concrete doesn't bend. We just rebuild, keep the vision clear. Yeah. Keep the vision clear. Peace. Peace.
Still vibrates, the blue guitar starts to weep. Sunlight filtered through the smoke while the city tries to sleep. Yo, check the tension. The meter's running, but the tank is dry. Just another day under the heavy Bronx sky. Listen to the rust, listen to the grind. Survival is the grit, survival's the glory. Navigating the grid where the pavement is blistered crack. Packing the vision, a mental bag, watching my back stack. Packing the vision, a mental bag, watching my back stack. Rent is a pressure, squeezing the walls so the mortar is crumbling. Hear the bodega neon humming, the belly of poverty rumbling. I'm breathing the resin, the serum heavy with iron rolling. I'm twisting the syntax, the lexicons heavy with iron and dust. Turning the nickel to silver and shadows of iron and rust. It's an intricate pattern, a ladder of broken off rungs, breathing the residue, chemical taste on the tip of our tongues. The ledger is hollow, the zeros are mocking the sweat on my brow. Born in the future for pennies, I'm living the static and now. Precise with the cadence, the patience is wearing down thin, but I'm taking the pressure and turning it inward. I'm learning to win. No silver spoon legacy, just a strategy built in the block. Counting the seconds of life like the rhythm that's kept by the clock. The blues are hanging low in the borough tonight. We're trading the struggle for a fragment of life. It's the concrete rhythm, the heartbeat of stone. Walking the wire, but we're never alone. Yeah, the blues are hanging low in the borough tonight. Searching for bread in the middle of the fight. It's rising like steam from the search rain and heat. Finding our soul in the sound of the street. The subway's a lifeline, a pipe in my face in search of a spark, illuminating the path through the middle of absolute dark. It's an economic puzzle, a maze of red tape and the toll. They want the body to sweat, and the spirit, they want the whole soul. But I'm twisting the flow, I'm digging deeper than shallow pride, moving to pieces. The strategy's something I'm keeping inside. I see the vultures, I see how they circle the corner store dreams, tearing the fabric, ripping the seams out of all of our schemes. But the grit is the armor, the stammer's forging the code, trading the time for the wisdom, the copper, metaphorical gold. It's a meticulous process, the focus is locked in scope, drowning in debt, but I'm building a raft out of tangled up hope. See the struggles, a teacher, the ledger's writing the truth, carving the lessons of labor directly in front of the youth. I'm a product of friction, a witness to everything seen, defining the life in the gap between the gray and the clean. Yeah, the concrete doesn't bend. We just rebuild. Keep the vision clear. Peace.
Yeah. It's that Bronx weather. You know the vibe. Concrete getting colder, but the mind staying active. Observe the grid. Steam rising like ghosts from the grate. Watch his step. Everything's got a price, but the cost is higher than the currency. Focus. Let's paint the picture. Bodega neon flickers, casting shadows on the cracked concrete. I'm dodging obstacles, just trying to find a rhythm for these heavy feet. The rent is skyrocketing, scraping the ceiling, leaving us feeling drained. Trying to build an empire from the scraps with a heavy rain stain. The hustle in the eyes of the youth, searching for a glimmer of truth. We're navigating labyrinths of a harsh, unyielding, jagged and couth. My mental sharp, piercing the smog, dissecting the fog of the daily grind. Leaving the vanity, stacking the clarity, leaving the ignorance far behind. Subway tracks rattling, shaking the foundation of the home I know. Every dollar earned is a battle when in the middle of the winter snow. We're crafting legacies from the legacy of what was taken taking in loss, calculating the ledger, edging the margin, weighing the heavy set cost. It's a system and puzzle, a maze of red tape, a challenge to navigate free. I'm carving my path through the static, finding a way that is meant for me. The city don't sleep, yeah, it keeps the vigilance wide in the dark, carrying the ember of ambition, looking for the fuel for the spark. The blues are blowing through the avenue, heavy and deep, a concrete cycle where the promise are the ones we keep. The Bronx is the heart, but the pulse is erratic and tight, searching for a payday in the middle of the longest night. The blues are blowing through the avenue, heavy and deep, working for the future while the rest of the borough is asleep. Yeah, we're rising through the friction, defying the weight of the wall, standing on the solid ground, never afraid of the fall. The fire escape is a terrace for those who are climbing to escape the floor, knocking on the wood of reality, demanding opening for the door. It's economic gravity, pulling the pockets empty, thinning the pride, but the spirit is armored, fortified with the wisdom that we keep inside. I'm tracing the graffiti lines, decoding the history written in spray. Every tag is a testament, a survivor's map for a better day. The infrastructure's crumbling, but the spirit of the borough stands tall, returning the struggle to syntax, answering the definitive call. Precision is the mission, the vision is locked in the center of the scope. I'm trading assist and listen for strategy, holding attention. I hope it's a paradox, living the blocks where the clock ticks like a drum, count on the minutes to the progress, anticipating what is yet to come. The air is thick with the friction of billions, fighting for a seat at the table. I'm writing my own chapter, spinning the truth from a twisted fate. No shortcuts in the blueprint, just the blueprints we draw in the dust, but the future on a foundation of resilience and mutual trust. The blues are blowing through the avenue, heavy and deep, a concrete cycle where the promise are the ones we keep. The Bronx is the heart, but the pulse is erratic and tight, searching for a payday in the middle of the longest night. The blues are blowing through the avenue, heavy and deep, working for the future while the rest of the borough is asleep. Yeah, we're rising through the friction, defying the weight of the wall, standing on the solid ground, never afraid of the fall. Yeah, from the great to the gate, everything is earned. Respect the hustle. Peace.
Yeah, just listen to the city breathe. Concrete lungs exhaling in the cold. It's the Bronx, man. Keep the vision steady. Yeah, the sidewalks are chairs, bar pawns moving through the heavy fog. I'm logging the journey, navigating like a travelogue. Copper is king, but the kingdom is built on a hollow floor. Counting the nickels just to pry open the bolted door. It's the rhythm of rubble, the hustle is subtle. I'm digging deep while the city is restless. The conscious mind is trying to sleep. My cipher is simple, I'm writing the gospel on jagged glass, watching wealth like a phantom, waiting for shadows to pass. It's a blues-coded frequency, agony in the melody, turning the struggle to strategy. That is my weaponry, I'm stacking the syllabus, brilliance in every line I draft, trying to keep the balance while they're cutting the jagged half. No silver or gold, just the mold of a spirit that won't break. The economics of suffering, counting the steps I take. Every block is a chapter, a disaster that turned to art. I'm pouring the pavement into the beat of a heavy heart. Oh, the blues hanging heavy in the city at night. Fighting for $1, yeah, we're searching for the light. It's a concrete struggle, can't wash away the stain. Yeah, the blues hanging heavy in the city at night. Keeping our composure till we get our future right. I'm twisting the syntax. The impact is strictly mental health. Trading the vanity, planning the strategy. Planning the strategy for my wealth. It's a paradox, living the blocks where the clock ticks. Dealing with the politics, filtering out the nasty tricks. My flow is a fever, I'm weaving a trickly out of grit. Even when the pocket and I'm never gonna quit. Even when the pocket is empty, I'm never gonna quit. I'm meticulous, drilling bits, drilling the sound. While the vultures are circling, looking for what I haven't found. A system in suppression, a question of who's I haven't found. A system in suppression, a question of who's is in control. I'm betting the vision, I'm laying the soul in the cold. The heat is a witness, the witness writing the jagged tale. Sailing the ship through the hurricane, never setting sail. Precise with the cadence, the patience is wearing thin. But I'm turning the pressure to power, I'm learning to win. It's a cycle, a spiral, the survival is all I know. Planting the seeds in the asphalt, watching the struggle grow. Planting the seeds in the asphalt, watching the struggle grow. Yeah, it's all about the growth through the concrete. Keep the rhythm. Peace. The mercury's dropping, the concrete is turning to slate. We're folding the blueprints, just trying to alter the fate. A cipher of shadows, where daylight is short on the rent. Tracing the hollows of every last copper we spent. The subway is screaming, a steel pulse under the floor. I'm counting the minutes, I'm kicking at every locked door. The ledger is empty, the ink is just running to dry. Watching the vulture circle under a heavy gray sky. They talk about progress, but look at the cracks in the street. The pavement is jagged, it's biting the soles of the feet. The bodega is closed, yeah, the neon is flickering fade. I'm trading my patience for pennies, that's how we get paid. The steam from the grate is a ghost of a dream that we lost. Calculating the margin, I'm weighing the heavy set costs. Every corner a ledger, every block is a test. The city don't sleep, yeah, it only gets tired at best. I'm wrapping my jacket, the wind is a blade in the throat. Navigating the current, just trying to stay in the boat. The currency's scarce, so we hustle to make it align. Living on borrowed time, dancing a razor-thin line. This is the rhythm of rubble, the heart of the brick. Where the walls closed in and the tension is getting too thick. Where the walls closed in and the tension is getting too thick. Where the walls closed in and the tension's getting too thick. We're building a kingdom on top of the salt and the dust. Trading the fear for the hustle, the silence for trust. It's the Bronx in the marrow, it's written in Gretty's soul. It's the Bronx in the marrow, it's written in Greffy's soul. Digging for gold in the gutter that's taking its soul. Digging for gold in the gutter that's taking its toll. We're survivors of the static, we're echo nallies of gray. Finding a way through wreckage to make it today. Yeah, we make it today. Through the static and haze, finding the light in the middle of concrete maze. We make it today, yeah, we're holding the line. Turning the struggle to something that's actually made. Yeah, we're holding the line. Yeah, we're holding the line. Turning the struggle to something that's actually mine. The paper is thin, but the hunger is heavy as lead. I'm stacking the problems, I'm resting the ache in my head. They sell us the vision, a window that's painted in blue. I was scrubbing the glass just to look at a distorted view. I'm reading the graffiti, the language of those who remain. Scrawled on the overpass, washing away in the rain. The economics of survival is crude and it's stark. Lighting a match just to find where we stand in the dark. Lighting a match just to find where we stand in the dark. The landlords are kings and the tenants are pawns in the play. We're checking the balance, just hoping that we're gonna stay. The transit is crowded, the air is thick with the doubt. The transit is crowded, the air is thick with the doubt. Searching for pockets, just trying to find an exit route. My hands are the tools and the grind is the wheatstone you see. Turning the pressure to progress, the prison to free. The Bronx is the teacher, the lessons are learned in the cold. Trading the time for the wisdom. Trading the time for the wisdom, the silver for gold. Yeah, just survival. Another night on the grid. Keep the vision sharp. Peace. The sidewalk breathes a heavy steam, a concrete dream. The city grid is jagged, ragged with a silent scream. Cold transit passes, masses staring through the plexiglass. Watch the seconds drip like acid, never letting ethics pass. A bodega neon flickers like a dying eye underneath the soot-stained ceiling of a copper sky. The hustle ain't a choice, it's just the volume of the noise, the iron in the ghetto poise. Industrial monuments of rust and heavy iron steel. Industrial monuments of rust and iron steel to make a living feel real. From the concourse to the hub, rubbing grit against the glove. A system mud, trap door where the struggle meets a shove. Yeah, we navigate the grid where the ghosts of the past lie. Taking what they want, leaving nothing left to give. It's a concrete rhythm, let the cycle spin and spin. Trying to find a win when the decks are looking thin. Yeah, we navigate the grid where the ghosts of the past lie. Yeah, we find a way to thrive in the concrete rhythm. The transit lines are timelines of the grind we can't escape. Rapping every avenues, imbuing bureaucratic red tape. The rent is like a mountain made of jagged broken glass. Climbing up the fire escape to let the glass. Climbing up the fire escape to let the fire escape to let the pressure pass. $1 for a dream is just a penny for your thoughts. Purchasing the freedom in the spots where we were caught. The infrastructure's crumbling like spots where we were caught. The infrastructure's crumbling like spots where we were caught. The infrastructure's crumbling like sourdough in the palm. Searching for a storm inside the middle of a false calm. Bodega doors are ringing like a church bell for the poor. Sweeping up the history that's scattered on the floor. Sweeping up the history that's scattered on the floor. Sweeping up the history that's scattered on the floor. NYC is heavy, yeah, the Bronx is on the shoulders. Carrying the boulders while the world just gets colder. We navigate the grid where the ghosts of the past lie. Taking what they want, leaving nothing left to give. It's a concrete rhythm, let the cycle spin and spin. Trying to find a win when the decks are looking thin. Yeah, we navigate the grid where the ghosts of the past lie. Yeah, we find a way to thrive in the concrete rhythm. Keep your head up. The grid don't stop for nobody. We still here. The sidewalk is a chalkboard, writing in the salt and soup, measuring the distance between where I stand and put a foot. A cipher in the shadows where the light don't dare to shine. Building up an empire on a budget and a jagged line. It's the logic of the local. Keep the vocal on a level plane. Intellectual survival while the chemicals attack the brain. We trade the copper for the culture, vulture vision on the prize. Seeing through the smoke in the mirrors in the elders' eyes. No fables in the furnace, just the burden of a living soul. Digging for the diamond while the pavement tries to take its toll. Peace to the believers in the basement. Seeking truth and static, seeking truth and static. Keeping every syllable weapon, purely systematic. Purely systematic. Check the math, it's the aftermath of walking on the glass. Trying to find a future while the present's moving fast. Trying to find a future while the present's moving fast. Nomadic in the spirit, yeah, the word up is the law. Survival is the science when you're knocking on the door. Yeah, we knocking on the door. Yeah, we knocking on the door. The mental toll is heavy, every breath is like a tax to pay. Searching for the wisdom in the wreckage of a yesterday. A dialect of density, the city is a living book. City for the density, the city is a living book. A dialect of density, the city is a living book. Every corner has a chapter if you only know just where to look. Brooklyn is the blueprint, the queens are in the kitchen. The kings are in the alleyway, just queens are in the kitchen. The kings are in the alleyway, just focused on the mission. We elevate the grammar just to navigate the gutter. Bread is on the table, but the words are what we utter. Bread is on the table, but the words are what we utter. No glitches in the coffee, just the caffeine and the clarity. Defining what is wealth against the backdrop of disparity. Intricate the pattern like the stitching on a leather coat. Intricate the pattern like the stitching on a leather coat. Survival is the message that the city states and then it wrote. Check the math, it's the aftermath of walking on the glass. Walking on the glass. Trying to find a future while the present's moving fast. Trying to find a future while the present's moving fast. Nomadic in the spirit, yeah, the word up is the law. Survival is the science when you're knocking on the door. Yeah, we knocking on the door. Yeah, we knocking on the door. Yeah, word up, knowledge itself. Stay focused, peace. Concrete scales, weigh the soul down in this concrete cage. Concrete scales, weigh the soul down in this concrete cage. Turning poverty's parchment, flipping the urban page. We map the block with the hunger of a king without a throne. Sifting through the gravel for a diamond in the danger zone. Steel gate shut tight. The light is dimming in the corridor. Hustle for the core. Never settle for a little more. It's a chess match with the shadows in the cold wind. Collecting all the debts for the sins that the gold pinned. Check the cipher We surviving through the mental rain. Word up, peace to the brothers navigating through the pain. Keep the discipline, ill flow in the dark nights. Struggle for the light under flickering street lights. Flickering street lights, word up. Pocket full of lint, but a mind full of architecture. Building up the temple while the system tries to lecture. Empty pockets preach louder than a Sunday sermon, while the rats in the alleyways are looking for the vermin. I keep my peace in the middle of the storm's eye. No tears in the cup, no looking for the warm sky. No tears in the cup, no looking for the warm sky. Just the ill movement, precise like a surgeon's hand. Writing our own story in the city shifting sand. Check the cipher, we surviving through the mental rain. Word up, peace to the brothers navigating through the pain. Keep the discipline, ill flow in the dark nights. Struggle for the light under flickering street lights. Flickering street lights, word up. Yeah, illmatic focus. Peace to the streets. We still here. Survival is the only mission. Get gone. Word up.